This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. This is Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Central Texas Life. And today we're going to be talking about the Selena A. Cohen Military Family Clinic that is at Endeavors in Killeen.
Yes.
And it really is a joy to talk to a couple of ladies who have served us in the military. Kametra Marietta is Air Force retired.
Yes.
And you're the outreach director. And Selena Villa or Villa?
It's Villa.
Villa, of course, served 5 years in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're the life skills coordinator.
Yes.
And I'm so happy to get to talk to people who are invested in our veterans and their families and active duty. I mean, it really,
Yes.
The clinic serves everybody.
It really does. So we do counseling, mental health services, like you said, active duty, veterans, family members. We do individual counseling, couples counseling. We see families. We see kids elementary age 5 and up. We do groups. We have group therapy. We really do try to catch every piece of the family that needs help.
Well, and it is the kind of lifestyle in the military that there are stresses on a family because one parent, maybe both parents, could end up deployed for a period of time. The kinds of things that kids deal with, are pretty can be life-changing.
Definitely.
Life-impacting at any rate.
Yeah, PCS moves, being, I hate to say torn or ripped out, but having to move from one place to another.
Well,
And
yeah, there's
sometimes-
always moving, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes the kids will have like those kind of adjustment disorders where they need a little help, and so that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Yeah, Selena, now what you do as life skills coordinator, tell me about that.
So what I do at the clinic is I host all these events that we have coming up. So I try to target what is in need of the community. So if, say, someone comes up to me and be like, do you have any parenting classes coming up, or do you have any, kids groups that we can do, and we'll come together as a clinic, me and Kametra as outreach, and we try to host in need of what the community needs.
Yeah, it's important for you to be able to disseminate that information too,
Definitely.
so folks can know this help is available. How long has the Selena A. Cohen Military Family Clinic been up and running?
So our clinic in Killeen has been open since 2018.
Okay, so it's pretty relatively new.
It is relatively new. However,
Yeah.
there are 24 clinics across the U.S. to include Alaska and Hawaii.
Okay, well, obviously it's a serious need.
Yes, definitely.
Everything from
PTSD, anxiety, depression, grief, loss, anything. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about y'all's service, because I mean you know what they're going through because you both have been there.
Yes.
And so we'll start with you, Kametra. What you served in the Air Force,
Yes.
and long enough to be considered retired,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I served 20 years. Yes.
20 years. Okay, yeah. So when did you do ROTC when you were in school?
No,
high
I
school?
didn't.
Did you know that?
Honestly, no, I didn't. Honestly, both of my parents are retired Army. And so my plan was always to just join
To
the
do the
military.
Army, yeah.
It was the Army. No, you're right. It was. My plan was to join the Army. It was the summer after my 11th grade year. My mom knew my plans, and she was like, well, I'm going to take you to a recruiter. And I said, okay. And I was ready to go because that was my plan. But she took me to an Air Force recruiter.
Really?
So when she enlisted, she had the opportunity to join the Air Force, but she chose the Army. So she kind of just wanted to maybe see how it was like through me. And so she pushed me to the Air Force, and that's where I went.
Well, that's interesting. So were you a pilot? I mean, what did you do?
When I enlisted,
That's what I think of. You
Yeah, I know.
You're flying
People
planes,
think that.
you
Oh,
know?
so you fly? No, I don't fly. I was a personnel, so I did a lot of admin work, and then I cross-trained into education and training management.
Yeah.
So I tracked a lot of training for different units. Right before I retired, I was able to work with some special warfare units in Texas. So it was a good experience.
Where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Okay, so you're a Texan.
Yes.
And whoop, whoop. Of course, El Paso.
Yeah,
What a
915.
great city. What
Yes.
a wonderful city.
Yes.
So where all have you lived? I mean, you talk
gosh.
about the military life
Right.
being a mobile one.
I mean, basically, I've been military all my life. I've had an ID card since I was born. So I've been Germany, Texas, Washington State a couple times, Hawaii, Korea. I've been deployed, San Antonio, El Paso. My husband's active duty now, so we're in Killeen.
So that's what brought you to Fort
Yes,
Cavazos.
yes, it did.
Yeah, interesting. Kids?
No kids, 2 dogs.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. What about you, Selena? You served 5 years in the Army.
Yes,
Did you
so-
know you always wanted to do military?
Actually, no. I didn't grow up in a military family at all, actually. I didn't know anything about the military. Even, like, in high school, I would see the recruiters and be like, I would never join the Army. I'll never do that. So, I went to...
Too many push-ups? I don't know. That's what would kind of slow me down. But then, yeah.
I decided to go to college, and when I moved Southern California, because I am from California, I moved Southern California with my godmother, and I was only making $200 a week, if that. And I was like, there's no way I could afford college. So I moved back home with my parents, and my best friend joined the Army. So for a year, I actually had to lose 70 pounds just to join the Army. So I did that, and then I enlisted when I was 19. So it took me a year after high school to join, and I actually became a behavioral health technician, and that's how I went into mental health.
Well, obviously, yeah. So was it the kind of thing they did assessment tests? You know, what would you be good at? What areas are you interested in?
Yeah, so it's called the ASVAB. So it pretty much documents where your best interests would be in the military. I scored higher in admin and actually mechanics because my dad taught me a lot about mechanics.
Oh, good for you.
So originally my plan was to go in as a physical therapist assistant, but it was just taking too long for me to even just have my date to ship off. So they called me and they're like, hey, we have a position as a behavioral health technician. I was like, why not? So I ended up taking that job, and when I went to San Antonio for training, it was honestly the best training I've had, and it was 4 months of training, I believe, in 2-year span of just schooling for psychology almost. So it was really rapid, a lot of tests. You only had 3 tries to not fail out of the course. So it was
Right,
pretty
it's pretty
difficult.
rigorous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with having just such a strict schedule, waking up at 4 in the morning, doing PT, and then going to school every day, it was pretty difficult, but honestly, I had a lot of great friends throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. So you did 5 years, but you just kind of decided I'm not going to make a career of this.
No.
What went into that decision?
So I was supposed to get out right before COVID happened.
Oh.
Then COVID happened. I extended for a year, and it just wasn't my lifestyle, honestly. I just felt like I kind of lost myself a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, I know. But the military is a great framework,
Definitely.
for people to, and wonderful career for you. And you retired, and now you're investing your life and your passion in helping people.
Definitely. Yes.
I guess, from the veteran standpoint, you always hear about, the VA doesn't help them enough, and, and you see homeless people, and, oftentimes they're veterans,
Yes.
who've got psychological issues. And so what I see you're working to do at the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic is to head off that
Definitely.
kind of
So really,
issue.
we'd like to work, in partnership with the VA. The VA only has so many people, and they have
Right.
so many veterans that need help. So that's why these clinics were really created. Stephen A. Cohen, who's actually the owner of the Mets, his son was in the military, and he saw that there was kind of like that backlog going on. And so Stephen A. Cohen threw his philanthropy dollars into these 24 clinics across the U.S. to help.
Okay. So is it private pay? Is it self-pay? Is it?
So we take all insurance. If you do not have insurance, we do have plans for that as well. Our focus is to alleviate costs to care. Barriers to care.
Right, right.
So we offer Uber Lyft. If somebody doesn't have a ride, we don't mind paying for Uber Lyft to and from the appointment.
That's great.
We just hired a child care specialist, so that way, parents come in with the kids, we can have somebody watch the kids while they take their session.
That's great.
So
yeah.
we really are trying to eliminate all those barriers.
For people to go and get the counseling and help
Yes.
that can really help them.
Yes.
A lot. Well, you mentioned events. You've got a lot of things planned. Obviously, there's a need for fundraising too. And so how can folks help you financially?
So financially, if you want to donate or help us out, you can go to endeavors.org. You can call our clinic, 254-213-7847, and get in touch with either of us, and we can, put you where you need to be.
Yeah. Well, I guess in the amount of time that you've been working with the clinic, there have been some really great success stories. Is there anything, without giving any names, is there anything you can share?
There's so many.
Where do I begin?
I feel like we have personally like the best job in our clinic because we really do get to go out into the community and meet people and talk to them about, what we offer. Yeah. We were going to the one of the local VFWs once a month. They had like a grief support group.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So they had a grief support group, and they came to us and said, do you mind coming? And I said, I'm not a clinician. I said, but I don't mind coming and letting people know about what we offer. And so it kind of became a thing, and we were going monthly, and a lot of veterans, spouses who passed, they were there too. And just letting them talk and letting them get their stories out was very helpful to them. And they're very just so gracious and so accepting, and they just love that we're there, and so that's enough
you
for
show
us.
you care.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, and that's the great value, I think, of self-help groups, support groups, which is something that you do through the clinic as well.
Yes. So we do offer a PTSD group. It meets every Thursday. This particular group is virtual and it's clinical. So to be in it, you will have to do like an intake and a BPSA, an assessment, but you'll go right into the group. So it's every Thursday. We also offer Warriors at Ease yoga every Thursday. It's,
Really?
10:45 to noon. We have instructors that are qualified that come in to teach. Spots are limited. It gets filled up.
I'll bet. Yeah.
It was filled up last week. It's filled up this week. And people
Bring your own mat, right?
No, you don't have to bring anything.
Oh, you don't have to bring a mat?
You can bring a water if you want to, but we have the mats, the pillows. We have
Oh.
everything that you need.
I have to share. I had a doctor my personal doctor who's now retired, but he said, if you will do yoga or Pilates for the rest of your life, that will be the best thing you can do for yourself.
Yes. And this yoga, it meets you where you're at. So if you're not able to move or...
Oh, yeah, people go, well,
Yeah.
I can't stretch very well. Well, that's the point.
Right. But the instructors are so good. They have, adjustments and things like that to help
Oh,
you.
yeah,
So
right.
if
right.
need
You
to
don't
just-
have to be,
Yeah.
be able to do the warrior pose.
Right.
You know,
If you
Exactly
want to come in
right,
and just
right.
lay down, you can come in and lay down.
that's the best part. I like
The
that
ending,
laying down
yeah.
and
The
relaxing.
Shavasana.
That's right. That's right. At the very end. That's
Yes.
when, yeah. But that that's the value of the whole mind, body, spirit. Combination that you're offering
Yes.
for our warriors. I mean,
Definitely.
they are people like yourselves who have dedicated themselves to serving this country, this great country. And the least we can do is help them particularly when they need help.
Right.
Yes.
Now, with our active duty folks, I think they do have to be referred.
Yeah, so
Is that
active
right?
duty wanting an individual therapy will have to have a referral from their primary care manager or their behavioral health tech. Yes.
But that's possible, and then that's
Yes, it's
their
standard, yeah.
insurance and
They can
all that.
go and request to be seen off post and just give them our name, and because we're in the system, and they can refer off post. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is made available to folks on Valentine's Day, which I think is kind of, our hearts belong to the military too. But you do have some events that are coming up. Tell us about those, Selena.
Yeah. So we actually have an event coming up February 15th. So that one is actually called Couples in Harmony, Sweetheart Edition. So that's going to be ran by our one of our clinicians, Sarah Mason, and she is our couples therapist at our clinic. It's going to focus on bettering your relationship and focusing on, your a little bit of your struggles of what's going on in your relationship, and after that we're actually going to have a clinical couples group that will also be ran by Sarah. We do have nurturing parenting class coming up, which will be every Friday, correct?
From 11 to 12, yes.
Yes, from 11 to 12. We also have another event called Beyond the Uniform. That's going to focus on soldiers, or I guess anyone in the military that's transitioning out within the last 6 months of their service. And
That's a big change.
It is.
It
It's
is
a
a
big
very-
change.
Yeah,
Yes.
from the structure you have of the military life to civilian life.
Definitely.
and our
You know.
I do know.
You've
That's
been
where
there.
a bulk of my stress came, honestly, was transitioning. And you hear stories, and there's so much information coming at you from all different areas, and it's hard to really focus. When I was transitioning out, my husband was away at school. So I was home, taking care of the house. I was active duty. I was in school for my master's degree, and it all just like came on me at one time.
Yeah,
And
that's a
so
lot.
this group is to help alleviate
Yeah.
that stress.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually the intern that is running it, she is actually prior service as well. So she served, I don't want to say how long because I really don't know, but she did serve in the Army. So she knows the stressors of
Yeah.
transitioning out. And she understands the different aspects of transitioning. Just because IETS, so it's a little bit different than retiring and medically retiring. So there's different ways to transition out, and she just wants to help that transitional process. Just because when I transitioned out, I had no idea what I was doing. So,
Which is common.
Yeah.
It's common.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not unusual at all.
but I did go for my bachelor's, and I finished in a year, which was my goal. So now I'm going for my master's now. So I
Good
am
for
very
you.
grateful. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's awesome. And that is the great beauty of military service because, as you say, you found out beforehand it's expensive to go to college.
Yes.
And so now you've got a great help. That is awesome. So where is the actual clinic located?
So the clinic is in Killeen, 1103 West Stan Schluter Loop. It's Building A, Suite 100. So for all my Killeenians, if you know where the HEB is on Stan Schluter, or if you know where Jimmy's Egg is at, it's the building to the left.
Okay. Right. So it is not on post.
No, it is not on post. It
Yeah.
is not on post. We are off post, but we're super close, like 12 minutes away.
Yeah, you're not very far from post. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome. I really appreciate both of you so much for making the drive to Waco
Yeah.
to visit us here at the Alico building. But I like to end these little visits with a little questionnaire. It's kind of similar to the one the late, great James Lipton would use on Inside the Actor's Studio.
Okay.
And it's my take on it. So I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite word? And I'll start with you.
Ooh, good one.
Your
Because
favorite
my word for
word.
this year is intentional. I want to
Okay,
be
good.
intentional with the things that I'm doing, not only personally, but also with my work.
Okay, good. What about you, Selena?
I think my word would be success, for sure, because I like to be better every day than I was the day before. And with just going back to school for my master's, that just shows I'm going towards success.
Moving forward, what is your least favorite word?
Ooh, least favorite word, probably can't.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah, can't. That's
Yeah.
probably my least favorite. If I hear can't, I'm like, no, I think we can.
That's right. Yeah, we're not going to go there.
There's got to be a way.
That's right. What about you, Selena?
Oh man, I don't know if I can compete with that. My wife always tells me you never know until you try. So I guess it's not really a word, but you never know until you try something to see if you can actually do it.
Yeah.
So-
Don't give up early. I'll start with you, Selena. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Oh man. I think passion for my career, because I love to be creative. I am very crafty, and Kametra sometimes does not like it. But
As long as there's no glitter involved, right?
Man, she's just like, we'll have like a thing and she'll just go off on it with like her art and creativity. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, why can't you just be normal?
I think just passion. I just want to have passion for the things I do and the things I love. So
Yeah. Okay. What What turns you on creatively or spiritually or emotionally?
People.
Yeah.
Meeting different people. I love having like a different like group of friends, you know, that can all come together. I'm a people person.
Yeah, so conversely now, what turns you off creatively or spiritually or emotionally?
What turns me off? Honestly, people who don't care to like try their best. Like I just love somebody who, no matter what the job is, they're like 100% into it. So people who don't, you know, I guess like don't try or don't care to try, it's kind of a little turn off for me.
Okay, all right. What about you, Selena?
I think just going into things in a negative thought.
Yeah,
Almost like the same.
that's kind of,
Yeah, it's
similar.
almost like the similar thing, but having negative thoughts about what you're about to do, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna fail already," but you haven't even tried.
That's
Like,
right. How do
don't
you know?
Right.
How do you know?
So,
Yeah.
What sound do you love the most? I'll start with you, Selena.
what sound? Man, these are tough questions.
These are so good. I've never like been asked some of these.
Yeah.
That's good.
I would probably say like the ocean waves in real life, not on like a
Not on a
the
sound
phone,
machine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
right.
in real life, yeah.
Good. I've heard that many times before. Yeah. What about you?
I'd have to just the sound of good music.
Okay.
I'm a big like Bruno Mars fan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He just has like good beats, good tunes, and you can just groove to all of it. So good music, I love
Okay.
it.
All right, good. What sound do you hate?
Super loud one.
Okay, yeah.
Like super loud sounds. I'm just kind of
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
you.
startling
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Popping a balloon.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's a first.
Or like popping a cork off of the wine bottle.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I have to turn away and like.
So, yeah,
put-
don't eat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, what other profession would you like to have tried?
Oh.
That's a great question. Well, I will say a profession that I will try, life coaching.
Okay.
My master's degree is human services counseling with a focus in life coaching, which brought me to this job that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
But I am thinking about, you know, the future and where I want to go, and I think life coaching might be it.
Okay, very good. about you?
I think mine would be nursing because when I was growing up, my sister kind of pushed me to go into nursing. When I was going for my bachelor's, I started 2 classes on nursing. And when I finished them, I was like, I can't do this. I can't see blood. I can't.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
do
You
anything
figured
like
that
this.
out right off the bat.
No.
So, but I wish I could have. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
My wife's a nurse, so I give her a lot of, grace for what she does.
Oh, absolutely. What job do you know you would not want to do? No, thank you.
Anything outside.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I love outside, but I don't want to like work in outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless the teachers.
Yeah,
but,
definitely. God bless the teachers.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I've heard that before too. Okay. One last question. What do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Ooh. Hopefully, welcome.
That's right. Come in.
Welcome. It'd be nice if he was just like, I'm proud of you, or something like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
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 I would say maybe you made a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. I appreciate you both.
Thank you so much.
so much, Kametra Marietta, who is the Outreach Director, and Selena Villa, who is the Life Skills Coordinator at the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at Endeavors in Killeen.
Yes, ma'am.
And again, is there a website? Is there a Facebook page? I mean, how can folks
you
connect?
can follow us on Facebook. You can just look up our name, Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at Endeavors, Killeen. I know it's a long name. You can also, our website, endeavors.org. You can search our clinic there, or you can also go to cohenveteransnetwork.org as well.
Yeah.
We're all over.
Well, main thing, if you need help, there's help available.
We're here.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
And thank you both so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate you being here with us. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time on Central Texas Life. Bye-bye.
Central Texas Life with Ann Harder is part of the Rogue Media family. Be sure to check out our other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate this show 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Life with Ann Harder. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.